Hello and welcome to another episode of 2 Minutes with Tim here on Heavenward Thinking. Today I want to finish off what we've been doing in 1 Thessalonians. We're going to look at 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verses 23 through 24. So I'll read it. We'll get right into this week's challenge. May God himself, the God of peace, sanctify you through and through. May your whole spirit, soul, and body be kept blameless at the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. The one who calls you is faithful, and he will do it. These verses are full of really good and important promises that should give us hope and encouragement in our daily living. And as we've been seeing the past few weeks, we've been looking at how we are supposed to live as Christians based on the things that we see, the teachings we have in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. And they've been challenging teachings, pointing us to live differently than the world around us. Here we see that it's not all up to us. We don't have to rely on our own strength or our own abilities. Instead, we see here the Apostle Paul's prayer here is that God himself, the God of peace, would sanctify you through and through. An amazing prayer that God would give us peace and sanctify us, that it's not something that we can do ourselves. We need God's peace. We can't rely on the world's peace or any other kind of peace or our own peace. We have to rely on God's peace. And we have to rely on his sanctification process. He is able to do it. We see then it goes on and says, may your whole spirit, soul, and body be kept blameless at the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. That's a huge task, a huge charge, if you will. That is a big deal. How are we going to be kept blameless with our whole spirit, soul, and body when the world around us constantly is pressuring us, and when we're constantly bombarded with temptations, and we constantly slip up and fail and backslide and struggle with different issues? Even though we may be Christians, we still are struggling. Well, in verse 24 we get the answer. The one who calls you is faithful, and he will do it. It's not you and I that we're doing this on our own. If we try to do it on our own, we're going to fail. But if we allow Jesus, the one who calls us, who is faithful, if we allow him to sanctify us, to give us that peace, to help us be blameless at his coming, then we're going to be able to do what he asks us to do. We're going to be successful if we allow him to do it, because he is the one that's going to lead us forward, not ourselves trying and failing on our own strength, but instead relying on Christ's strength. That's my challenge for you this week, and I hope you'll join us next time for another episode of 2 Minutes with Tim here on Heavenward Thinking.